In this video, I'm going to show you how to use AI for content marketing. My name is Brittany Long. By the end of this video, you're going to know the surprisingly easy AI workflow that anyone can do in less than 20 minutes a day. First, I'll show you how to use AI to come up with a customized marketing strategy just for you. Then I'll show you how to talk to AI so you get content like a human, but better. Next, I'll show you the secret workflow I've been using for the last 18 months to create content with AI effectively and quickly. Because as a mom entrepreneur, I honestly don't have time for anything else. Finally, I'm going to show you the best tool you can use to repurpose your content and still maintain your voice. Here we go. So how can you use AI to come up with your custom marketing strategy without having to hire a really expensive marketing strategist? First, you're going to go into ChatGPT or Claude. Then you're going to say, I want you to think like a content marketing strategist. The outcome I want is, and then whatever the outcome you want. Maybe it's, I want to create enough content that I get in front of 1 million people this year. Or maybe your goal is to make enough content that you get asked to be on big stages. Whatever your goal for your content strategy, we want to include that. Then you're going to ask it to come up with a strategy. And if you can tell it a little bit of information about yourself, like maybe you enjoy being on Facebook, but you hate being on TikTok, give it that kind of information so that when it comes up with a content strategy, it's going to be a content strategy that works for you, not just a general run-of-the-mill strategy. With AI, we can really customize it. It is a lot like hiring a business coach or a content strategy coach, but not having to pay that giant price tag. Now, content marketers, business coaches, don't come at me with your pitchforks. There's still a lot of reasons people need to hire you and want to hire you, but this might not be one of them anymore. You're also going to tell that prompt in ChatGPT or Claude what you've tried before, what's worked for you, what hasn't worked for you, and any common obstacles that you face. For example, an obstacle that I might say is that I don't have a ton of time during the day to record. One of the reasons I'm batching this right now. Once you've told it all the information that it needs to know to create your custom strategy, you're going to tell it to ask you any follow-up or clarifying questions. This is really important because there might be some things that you missed, some things that you forgot to say that are going to help it create a better picture of what a content marketing strategy looks like for you that can be successful for you, for your business, for your brand, for your lifestyle, even for your personality. A lot of times when I'm creating a custom content strategy, I'll even put in information about my personality. For example, I'm an INFJ, I'm an Enneagram 7 Wing 8, I'm an ID on the disc. By giving it that information, it's not going to be giving me content ideas that work against my personality. My goal is to make it as easy as possible for me to get the content out that's going to be impactful and helpful to others. Next, we want to give feedback to that content plan. So whatever ChatGPT or Claude comes up with, we want to go back and forth for a little bit, kind of like you would with a business coach. Ideally, we don't want to take exactly what they give us and just say, okay, cool, I guess this is great, because you are the expert in you. You're the expert in your content matter, your audience, and you. They can help, ChatGPT can help, a business coach can help, but ultimately, you probably know more about your audience, your personality, your goals than they would. And so just like we would with a team member or a coach, we're going to give feedback to this ChatGPT or Claude tool. First, you're going to say what you like and don't like. So you'll go through the whole plan and you'll say, okay, here are the parts that I like that I think will work for me based on what's worked for me in the past. Here are the parts that I don't think will work for me based on what's worked for me or hasn't worked for me in the past. Here are the things that I know for sure I will never do because it's so out of my comfort zone. Can you give me other ideas? Because ultimately, if you have a custom plan, but it's out of your comfort zone to the point that you're not going to do it, it doesn't really help you at all. So that feedback piece of it is crucial. And you can always ask it for more updates. You can say, give me 10 more ideas, 20 more ideas. And this is something that really separates using an AI tool versus using a business coach or a content strategist. Because a lot of times with a business coach or content strategist, there's only so much back and forth. They're like, well, you only paid me $90 billion, so you can only reach out to me twice. And you're not maybe getting what you need in those 2 sessions. Maybe you need more, maybe you have more questions. With ChatGPT, you can ask as many questions as you want, and you're never gonna feel like an inconvenience, you're never gonna feel like you're bothering someone, you're never gonna feel like, oh, am I coming up to my limit? You have an unlimited amount of questions that you can ask and go back and forth on. And actually, business coaches, let me talk to you for a second, because this is where you still come in. While AI can give really great ideas and really customized content ideas for your client, what it can't do is give your client that friendly, loving kick in the butt to actually get going and get started. Your client's gonna need help implementing sometimes. They're gonna need help with that encouragement, the motivation, and the mindset. And that's really where you get to shine. So if you're worried about AI taking your job, you know what? In some ways, it probably will, but not in every way. So lean into the ways that you can still help much better than an AI tool can. Now, I promised you I'm going to show you the surprisingly easy AI workflow that I've been using the last 18 months that has seriously changed my ability to pump out content and quality content that sounds like me, that I don't have to spend a ton of time editing. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Let's go to the whiteboard. The first thing that we need is a transcript. So this is anything that you're talking about your business. After you have your content strategy plan, usually I'll ask ChatGPT to make an outline of the different content pieces. Let's say one of the content ideas is talking about AI for content. I'm gonna start with an outline so I know exactly what to talk about in my transcript. The reason I wanna use a transcript is because then I'm using my ideas and I'm getting it out of my head and into ChatGPT. For me, this is much faster than trying to type everything up. So we're gonna start with that transcript. This is a starting place for everything. Once we have the transcript, the next thing that we're gonna do is ask for more content. So we upload the transcript into ChatGPT or Claude, whatever tool it is that you're using. And we try to start from the biggest piece of content to the smallest. So if you're doing blog posts, for example, we wanna start with blog posts and then go to a LinkedIn article if your audience is on LinkedIn, and then email, Facebook posts, Instagram, and so on. So we're going from the biggest amount of content to the smallest amount of content. So here we go, transcript to blog post. Once it's created the blog post for us, the next thing we're gonna create is a LinkedIn article. After it's created the LinkedIn article, the next one we want is an email. Now, typically this is gonna be an email like a newsletter email or a weekly email that you send out to your audience that's helpful, that's interesting, and in the PS you can put information about your offer. After we've created the email, the next thing is the Facebook post. And if you have a Facebook group, you can also do Facebook posts for the group as well here. So we're gonna do Facebook posts, let's say on your page, and then Facebook group. And then after we've done that, we're gonna be looking for other content. Instagram caption is typically next. After you've done the Instagram caption, the next smallest piece that relates to Instagram is gonna be that overlay text. So this would be if you're doing like a quote card or something like that, that's the kind of content we're creating here. The really cool thing about this is that you can connect it with Zapier or Pabbly or other tools that are similar there and actually create this image automatically. In fact, this whole thing can be automated. After we have our Instagram caption, then we're gonna be going on to Reels or TikTok. Now, one of the reasons I really like using this transcript as well and recording myself talking about this, you can record yourself on audio, but I prefer to record myself on video because then, in addition to coming up with new reel ideas, I can also do this. I can also chop it into smaller pieces. I use a tool called Minvo, and that's an AI tool as well. And that chops it into pieces. Now, instead of just having this many pieces of content, which is already a lot, we can take the transcript. Let's say we have a 6 to 10 minute video. I can turn that anywhere from 5 to 20 reels from that, which is wild. Next, after we do that, we have Reels, TikTok. We can also do tweets. And so we have all this content here. We can also do additional hooks. And that gives you more ideas on the kind of content that you can create based on this. We can do quote cards. The other thing that I really like to do with this, like I said, I like to automate it. I like to send myself a text of potential Instagram story ideas that I can do based on the content I've already created. And that comes straight to my phone. Usually I'll try to do this in the morning, and then by the afternoon, I have an idea of what I can upload into my stories. And there you go. That is the AI workflow. Now, if you really want to automate it, what we do then is we add Zapier, Make, Pabbly to connect it all. And all you have to do, literally the only thing you have to do, is upload a transcript. It does the rest in an instant. This allows you to repurpose all the content from one transcript. Now, like I said earlier, I don't have a lot of time in my life between taking care of my kiddo and spending time with my family, running multiple businesses. I don't have time to mess around and do stuff that's gonna take forever. All I really need to do with this though is a 6 to 10 minute video. That's it. Everything else can be created. And not only that, after I've done all that, then I'm going to have it automatically upload into SocialBee. And there's other tools like this. SocialBee basically is a tool that lets you put your posts out. And so I can use this tool to get everything created and uploaded. I don't have to touch anything except for this transcript. And honestly, I don't even upload that. My VA uploads that. I just literally record for 6 to 10 minutes. And then the rest is just gravy. I can go to the springs, I can hang out with my family. We can do fun stuff like the trampoline park, whatever we wanna do, because this is created for us, repurposed, and even uploaded. If you thought this was cool, I have a free gift for you that's gonna make it easy for you to replicate this and get started with your own content machine. What I have here is called the AI Insync Content System. I'm gonna give you the checklist for it. All you have to do is click the link that comes with this video. My name is Brittany Long. Grab the Instant AI Content System Checklist in the link below.